So today we will implement retry mechanism using reactive programming. So normally this retry mechanism implemented using normal stream API or normal imperative style of programming. So in that one we used to call one method which is calling actually the external API multiple times. So we call that one method multiple times, usually two or three times. So in the case when like first time it gets failed. So first time if it is getting failed, the call to the external API, then we try it some other like some more time, like two or three times, then we will fall back to the error response. So that usually happens in these stream APIs and REST stream API when we implement in REST when we are building REST APIs and also imperative style of coding that we used to do in our REST API. So now same thing we will see how we can do in the reactive programming, like when we build the reactive chains. So that is kind of bit tricky and usually it's bit different as we do in the imperative style or this lambda style of coding. So let's see how we can do that in reactive programming. I'm opening this project in VS Code. So this project is just a sample project. Okay. And this is having Java and then controller. So two controller class are there that we don't touch. We will not touch these things. We will see what these later maybe. But let's focus on this retry mechanism using reactive programming. So reactive retry. Let's name this as reactive retry.java. So let's copy something from uh, this user management controller, like this REST controller and SLF4J, this thing, these annotations only for now. So as to make things quick. Uh, this I'm importing it SLF4J from Lambok. It will come and request mapping from Spring Framework Web. So now this controller is bit kind of ready. Let's copy one get mapping as well, like it's different one, but we will modify it over here. So yeah, this we will say something like retry, uh, retry API. Okay, so external API will get retried over here. Retry API. So I have named it as retry API. No need of path variables and all. This we can remove. And this is fine. Like we will see this in the log and not a problem. And this we can remove. And let's see here. So we will return string, right? But since I have said already that uh, it's reactive programming flow, right? It's not a normal flow, so we will use mono instead of only string. So here we have used mono and we will import this from Reactor Core Publisher. So this thing will this reactor will come from Reactor Core Publisher, which we have used in this mono. This is coming from one of the dependency I will show. This is coming from this dependency, WebFlux. So this is reactive, like using this library, we can implement reactive code in our APIs. So this has to be there. if we wanted to use this mono or flux. So let's implement further things and we'll return directly from here. So we'll use first let's do null over here and let's first create that method which is actually the retry method. This will be like kind of calling, like we will kind of stub the API, external API. So you can assume that this method will going to call external API. So we will like stub it kind of. It will be a like kind of sample one. So it will return a same string response and let's name it as call remote service. Okay, so we are calling here remote service and let's track down like how is it really the call will happen the specified number of times or not. So for that, let's have some variable called attempt. So this will going to have a attempt, like it will track how many attempts has been done till now. But for that, first we need to have some variable. So variable which is actually the number of retries that we will do. Atomic integer mistake. So atomic integer, let's name it as counter. Mhm. Atomic integer. Then let's make it private. It's not necessary, but I mean, for here, because it is for a demo purpose. So let's take this counter and we will increment and get. So counter will increase. And initial value we have set to 0. So first time when it comes, the attempt will be 1 first. Like that value of the attempt will be 1. So let's print it as well. Log.info and print it like attempt and this will print the attempt. Fine. And so we will get to know that how many attempts are there, like how many attempts are actually passed when this trying of retrying happens, how many actual attempts had happened. So this is where we will track it. So next, let's simulate that behavior. If attempt is less than 3, let's say 3, then with mono.error. Okay, we'll return new runtime error. Okay, runtime exception. Actually. So here we can say simulated API failure. So when the attempt will be less than 3, like 1 or 2, then that time it will fail and it will come over here and it will give simulated API failure. And let's print attempt here as well. So because this is like it runs in threads and sometimes tracking of that request becomes difficult. So that's why I'm printing it 2 times here and here as well. So it will become easy to track it down what has actually happened. We will close it. So first 2 times it will fail and it will come here. And the reason why I'm throwing runtime exception over here is that if we don't throw it, our retry will not. And why our retry will not work? I mean, which retry will not work, we'll see. We will implement it on top of it, like here in the main method, the column method. So if at the third time it comes, then it should return success. Like last time when it is coming, then I'm returning it as success. So mono dot just let's say success on full call on attempt. Attempt we will say attempt. Okay, so this will print in the third try. It will print the successful attempt. So this one is over. This simulation of the external API method is over. Now come back to our this method. Now what we will do over here to call this method, but in a reactive way with retries. So that can be done here using first we will do mono.defer. So what this differ will do is that it will call uh, every time this method in a fresh manner. So it will not use the same reactive chain, it will use a new chain every time when this is getting called. Uh, it is saying supply to a target mono to subscribe for each subscription downstream. Okay, it's telling what where it is getting used for. So let's implement other things. Okay, so we have here one extra backend. Okay, so mono.defer we have got, and let's call this method first. Okay, this lambda thing will like this is not needed. Brackets are not needed. Let's call directly. So call dot remote service. Call remote service is happening, but retry is still not implemented here, and also it will not call it because as you know already know that in reactive programming there should be a subscription every time. Like if you wanted to call something we need to subscribe it. So let's subscribe it now using do on subscribe. Okay, then we'll do sub and we'll print it log dot info. Let's say subscription trigger. So to track that actually we subscribed or not. So let's say mm, subscription trigger. Okay. So here subscription will get triggered. This is not needed. And then we will say what we gonna do if any error comes in this process. So let's print that error as well in case it is coming. It should not come in our case, but in case. So let's print it log dot error. Yeah, so let's give some message. Error occurred and colon. Let's give error dot get message. We'll give curly braces over here and error dot get message. Fine. So now we have subscribed to it. It will definitely call this method, but retry is yet to be implemented. So it is very easy actually in reactive programming to implement retry. We will use retry with condition. So retry when we will use. So retry.backoff. We need to give how many retries we want. So we want, let's say, two retries we want. Okay. So two retries we want means one will be the original call and two will be the retry. Total three call will happen. And the third case, it will show successful call on attempt. So this is a duration we have to give, like how much time we need to wait in between while calling, uh, while again trying for the APIs. So this retry is also implemented, and let's implement on error resume. So in case if error comes in doing this uh, retry. So this error resume we got and let's print this in case we get exception. Mono.defer. I mean, this is not our expected scenario, but still let's for safety print it. Fallback uh, when all retries fail. Okay, so this is now completed. So let's compile our code and see whether it is working or not. Okay, let's run ambient spring boot run, scanning our project. Okay, some failure is there. What is that? Application failed to start. And what is the reason for that? Process terminated with the code 1. Okay, some problem is there in the retry API that we have put. Okay, this is not needed. I forgot here. This is actually not required. This was extra thing that escaped. Okay, so let's see now it will run or not. I think it should run this time. Okay, so we got exiting main. So in the main method, as we have seen, uh, it is printing that exiting main. So that means our application is running, up and running. So let's see first here and give some like some string so that we'll know that what log it has printed. Okay, so come to Postman. Let's come to the new tab. We'll use get API only and localhost 988. Okay, let's copy it from here. 9889 and users, still users. Okay, we will copy and then put over here. And you can see here as well, the server must have started at 9889. Yeah, here. Tomcat initialized with port 9889. So fine, then we'll put our retry API thing. Taking from here, then we're putting it here. So let's run it. Uh, Successful call on attempt 3. Okay, let's see what is coming here. It is saying uh, inside retry API. Yeah, that we have printed here inside retry API. And then it come to attempt 1. Here it came, the attempt 1. And attempt should be 1 is less than 0. Then it should print simulate API attempt 1. So subscription triggered, yeah. Then error occurred, simulate API failure, attempt 1. So this one it is printing like a third runtime exception here and it has been caught over here. So error occurred at this point and this message is got printed. This we have written there. And then attempt 2 will happen because of the retry. So attempt 2 has happened, and similarly this will be cached over here. So this will again print, and subscription trigger, and this is tried after, like, this attempt 2 has also happened. Then attempt 3 will happen, and this time 3 is not less than 3. It will just return the successful call down attempt. So this will get returned. And so this scenario is not getting called on a resume, right? Because every last time we got it successful. So that's what we got in the return as well. Like the return message successful on attempt. But the thing is, let's try this as well. This scenario when it this on error resume will be returned instead of the successful. So attempt, let's say it's less than 4. Okay, so first time it will fail, second time and third time will also fail. So let's see what will happen if all the 3 times it fail, and let's say the external API which is stuffed here is not even available even at third attempt. So we'll try this scenario as well, and then we will wind up for this topic. So I'm running it again. So exiting name has came, and let's try it. And as you will see, logs are coming, and here you can see fallback. All retries failed. So this has come up this time. All the retries failed, and this is never executed. This line, the successful line, will never get executed. If we see the logs, then inside retry API, attempt 1, subscription triggered, simulated API failure, that error has came. This error has came because of this runtime one, and then error occurred. Simulate API attempt 2 failed, then attempt 3 tried, and also this attempt 3 also got failed. And we got this response that simulated API failure attempt 3, that is returned again over here, and it is got caught over here. It is also got caught over here, and finally this is getting returned instead of successful. This uh, error message is getting returned to the caller API. So that's it for this topic of implementing retry while calling the external API using reactive programming. So we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.